And welcome to another special Franchise Hockey Manager 4 stream. My name is Adam. I'm the Community Manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, and pictured on your screen is Franchise Hockey Manager Producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey, everybody.
And we are back as the champions of the WHL in the year 2018.
Finally broke our long championship-free streak in these streams. And kind of improbably, we didn't really expect to go anywhere this year. It was kind of a rebuilding year in the league. We get the divisional standings up. We actually snuck into second place in the division, but that was just because the rest of the teams were pretty bad as well. We beat Regina by 1 point, Moose Jaw by a couple. So, kind of a fluke that we even made it into the playoffs, really. But once we got there, we did pretty well. Upset Regina in the first round, Prince Albert in the second, and Red Deer in the third. And then nearly blew a 3-2 series lead against Spokane, but came back and won it in Game 7 for our first championship on a Twitch stream, if I remember right.
It is.
But the thing is, since this is Major Junior, we have one more series to play. We're still counting this as a championship. But we also have the Memorial Cup for the National Championship, playing against the teams from the Quebec Major Junior League and the Ontario League. And you can see the standing screen for that. And we actually have our first game today against the Ottawa 67s. So I will take a very, well, if you haven't been watching so far, I'll do a quick overview of what our team looks like at the moment. You can see, this is a much worse, well, it's a significantly worse team than we had last year. We wound up picking up a few older guys up after a really bad start and just trying to stabilize the season a little bit. And they wound up playing reasonably well, but you can see we haven't got a ton of scoring. There's decent second and third line scoring, but the top line, other than Theos, we don't really have a really big offensive threat. Decent depth defensively, nothing spectacular. And unfortunately, we've got one of our better defensemen, Daniel Bukach, is out with, I think it's a rib problem. And he's day-to-day, so we may get him back before the end of the tournament, but right now we're missing him. And the two goalies we've got, who will probably be our goalies again next year, Miskew and Kruger. Okay numbers. Miskew finally managed to get his extra half-star and is probably going to be a decent starter next year. Hopefully we can get him up to 3 in the off season, and because I'm not sure what kind of shape we're going to be in next year, because we kind of borrowed against the future against again a little bit. We're losing the 3 overage guys, obviously, but we've also got a lot of guys 19 going on 20, so we're going to have to make some tough choices about who we keep around for an overage season next year, although we will have some younger guys. That'll be our first draft. The first draft we did in this game that will finally be eligible to play in the WHL. So we'll have some decent 16-year-olds next year, hopefully. But other than that, it may be another rough year. But who cares about that? Because we're going to try to win Memorial Cup right now.
Yes.
And let's take a quick look before the first game at the Ottawa lineup. 47-19-2, pretty dominant in the OHL. What's their scoring look like? Keating, Schmalewski, Hoffenmeyer. Yeah, so, well, they've definitely got the first line scoring, it looks like. But drops off a bit. Oh, no, they had injuries. That's why there's not quite as much scoring. Clark, Mansurov, those guys had 30, 40 points in just 40 games. Quinn's almost a point per game. Wow, this is looking rough. Yeah, these guys got hit by it looks like they got hit pretty hard by injuries, and they still finished with 96 points. So this could be fun. Star-wise, goaltending isn't any better than ours. A couple of really solid defensemen, and not really any one big superstar. I think Keating, their best guy, isn't any better than Matheos, ours. They've got a few guys with 5-star or 4.5, 5-star potential at the OHL level, but they're quite a bit away from there yet. And they're not that young either. They look kind of similar to us, not even any 16-year-olds.
Interesting.
And a lot of 19 and 20-year-olds. Okay, so we'll take a look at the other, I think it's two Quebec League teams. Yeah, Moncton and Cape Breton, one of which I assume is the host. But we'll have a look at them next. I'm not going to change anything in our lineup, I don't think. Seeing as we just had that win, we've had a week off to recover. Oh, and it looks like I am going to have to change it because we've been working on some new updates. Working on the final update this week, and this is that version of the game. If you watched our attempt at a broadcast on Friday, we ran into some trouble. The update we were using that day is a little unstable.
I have no idea what you're talking about. We didn't broadcast on Friday.
We're not acknowledging what happened on Friday.
What are you talking about? Friday didn't happen.
Yeah.
We were trying, but it just didn't work out at all.
Yeah, we did get the problems we had on Friday fixed. That was actually a bug with the game that came up in one of the, I think the last test version of the update we had. So that is fixed now, and we're very, very close to releasing the what should be the last update, just to fix a few of the lingering problems. Okay, let me just look over this lineup. That's what the AI wants to do. I think it's pretty similar to what we were doing before. Power play looks about right. Penalty killing. Yeah, I think that'll work. So let's go into this game against Ottawa. We'll play the whole thing out since we're going to have at most 5 games in the Memorial Cup. So if we don't do well, it'll only be 3. So we got time to go through all of that. We'll look for a couple more countering rolls here.
Excellent. Hopefully we can pull this off.
Physical on the third line, I think. And yeah, we've countered their... Our offense is going to have a lot of trouble against them, it looks like, but at least defensively we can stay close in this one, I hope. Okay, here we go. Oh, great, and their goalie is red hot too.
Fantastic.
And ours is completely ice cold. I think you might have had one flame at the beginning of the week, but there's a week layoff in between the last game of the finals and the start of this tournament, so that's probably cost him that one little bit of heat that he had. And wow, it was nothing but red in the play-by-play display off the start. They were dominating, but halfway through the first, still nothing, and we're actually up 5-4 in shots. So this is about what I was expecting and hoping for. A fairly defensive game, and if we can get a lucky goal or two, we've got a shot here. That would really help us to open up with a win. Because you get a win in the first game of this tournament. It's the first stage is round robin with the 4 teams playing each other once each. So if you get a win in the first game, you got a pretty good shot at getting into the playoff round. And yeah, definitely going to be a defensive struggle. Five minutes left in the end. 4 minutes left in the second, and Bitten gets the first goal for Ottawa, so we're down by 1. And despite out shooting them 19-17, I think I'm going to have to, not doing too much, not taking a lot of risks right now. I'm going to up the tempo a little bit, take a few more offensive risks. in the third and hope we can make up that goal, and looked like we were close there, but didn't even want to get a shot on it. We're getting chances, and there we go. Hark, our third line center, makes it, and right after that, Secundiak, 2-1 Brandon.
Excellent.
So quick back-to-back goals. And I should stop taking offensive chances with a one-goal game with only about 12 minutes left. Going to slow it down a little bit here. They're not getting a lot of offensive at all. That's a good sign. And we're still getting chances, and Reinhardt makes it 3-1 for Brandon, so it looks like we may come out of this okay, and 4-1. All right. Mateos, so we're getting a couple of quick goals, and Mateos makes it 5-1, so we got late collapse by Ottawa, and we cruise to a 5-1 win in our first Memorial Cup game.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to them in the third period summary. Goal 5 unanswered goals, 3 minutes in, 3.5 in, 15, 46, 30 seconds after that, and then a couple of minutes later. So Mateos gets 2, although it was pretty much over at the point where he got him. And not bad numbers across the board. And the other game, Moncton beats Cape Breton 4-3 in overtime. So we are the only team that comes out of the first round with a regulation, or the first set of games with a regulation win. That's very good news.
All right. Gudu in the chat said hi before, and P-Wog shows up to cheer on the Red Wings, who have nothing to do with this stream, because, well, that's what he does.
Well, again,
and we're happy to have you, P-Wog.
Oh, he won't P-Wog by... Let's see what the NHL did this year. And what a surprise, the Wings didn't go anywhere. It looks like, oh wow, Edmonton, Winnipeg in the semifinal, and Toronto and Pittsburgh, and oh yeah, it's going to be a guaranteed all-Canadian final. Leafs just made it into the final, and Winnipeg is up 3-2 in Edmonton, so I guess we'll maybe keep an eye on that.
What a horrifying thought.
And the Red Wings, second to last overall. It looks like Vegas collapsed in their second season. Otherwise, Wings would have been last. And speaking of the NHL, some fairly big news out of Vancouver this week.
The Canucks are bringing back their pink uniforms. I saw that.
Yeah. So no more Sedins after this year. $14 million in cap space in the offseason to chase John Tavares with.
That would be such a not Canucks signing. They're going to chase probably bringing Thomas Vanek back on a...
Well, that's apparently the rumor. I think there's a pretty good chance Vanek does come back.
For $20 million for a couple of years.
Yeah, another Louis Eriksson contract.
$20 million a year.
Okay, so we got Moncton in this next game. Let's see what they're looking like. So 57, 8, and 3 in Q. I'm assuming they're not the host team. They're the champions. And how did they do that? Kovanov, 101 points in 56 games, so that's going to be fun trying to stop him. Yeah, lots of scoring here. Looks like they were healthy. Wow, and McDonald, the other... Looks like Tampa sent him down partway through the year, and he only played half a season, but had 64 points. And how are they in goal? Oh, wow. Goalie's got a 2.09 goals against average. This is actually, he's only got 2.5 stars though, so. And their D is looking really thin after the first couple of guys. I mean, they've got like half-star guys playing on the bottom pair. So if we can get some matchups there, that's actually, yeah, they've got a lot. They've got really good first line scoring and pretty solid second line, but the bottom lines they've got some serious issues on. So if we can get a win here, that basically gets us into the playoff round for sure. I am not going to change anything from that last game. And our D is actually a pretty good matchup for their offense, looks like. Probably make it a little bit better. But yeah, it'll be the Sedin's last home game tomorrow night. And then they finish out in Edmonton.
Oh, that'll be a great playoff match.
Yeah. How do you not make the playoffs with Connor McDavid on your team?
I don't know, but Edmonton's found a good way to do it. Well, I guess partner him with Lucic, who can't skate. So, who I'm sure Vancouver's going to sign this summer, let's be honest.
No, apparently they've thought about that, and Lucic, yeah, he's going to probably would enjoy being at home in Vancouver a little too much, so I think the thinking is they don't really want him.
He's going to end up being bought out by Edmonton, likely, and he'll sign back on Vancouver and be there for a couple of years, dragging down the fourth line.
No, that doesn't... what really scares me is if they don't get Tavares, which really is fairly unlikely realistically, but decide to spend the money on Evander Kane instead.
Oh, shivers down my spine, Jeff. Shivers down my spine.
Okay, so, and great, we got another red-hot goalie to go up against, and Miskew still hasn't heated up despite having a decent game in the first game, but let's see how we do against this scary offense from the Q. And they get a chance early, but it doesn't go anywhere. I've got this on high speed, so we can get through the games relatively quickly and can fit all this into one show. It'd be a little more readable if I slowed the text down, but it would take a bit too long. And we're out shooting them halfway through the first period. No score yet. And decent chances for both teams, it looks like. And Thompson gets the first one for us, so we're up 1-0, and briefly had a two-man advantage here we didn't do anything with, and but Moncton takes another penalty at the end of the first.
Okay, you know, I was trying to think of the guy's name.
And Moncton ties it up with only their 7th shot of the game, and they put Elmer rebound a couple of seconds later, and it's 2-1. And we're suddenly down. What were you trying to think of?
I'm going to look it up because I can't think of the name of the guy.
We're really dominating them here, but we had those 2 quick goals, and now they got the third one. Down to 3-1, so we're really going to have to open it up in the third. Don't give up another one here. Okay, we just got out of the second without being any further down.
All right, here it is. Luca Berzan. He's still on Brandon on this game?
In the game? No.
Yeah. What happened? Or did he age out? I was curious.
I think he might have been gone after last year. I can't remember.
I was just reading about him on The Athletic earlier today. I was just curious. P-Wog says in the chat, looking forward to going to the Frozen Four finals with Minnesota Duluth versus Ohio State, Michigan versus Notre Dame.
We traded goals here with Moncton in the this game. We got within 1, but they made it 4-2 again, and we're in trouble here.
Those are some pretty good games. Speaking of Michigan news, for our Florida Panthers series, I have been advancing into the new season, and we floated around the idea of trading away Jordan Eberle, and did in fact end up trading him away back to the New York Islanders, who shipped us current Michigan product, Quinn Hughes. So that gives us a bit of a boost on defense.
Pretty good trade, and we wound up losing this 5-2. Gave up another goal late in the third, and I see I've got a news message there, so hopefully that's not an injury. Kind of a weak game and goal for Miscue, and yeah, we really should have been closer in that one. We actually outshot them pretty handily, and somehow wound up losing 5-2, so cross your fingers that this isn't...
I'm hoping.
And radial nerve compression for one of our defensemen, Vincent Diorio. Fortunately, he is the third pair guy, so that's not a huge loss, although it would be really nice if Vukac would come back one of these days. So I can just swap Zayat in for Yorio, and that's not going to make a huge difference. 2 stars to 2 stars. But we've at least got a day off here, so it'd be nice if Vukac get back, and Ottawa beats Cape Breton in the other game, so I'm assuming tied with Ottawa. I'll take a look in a second. But it should be Moncton first. Yeah, Moncton first. We're technically in second, I think, based on goal differential. And in fact, we beat Ottawa, and Cape Breton in third. But if we were to lose to Cape Breton here, that could theoretically bounce us out. So this is kind of a big game coming up today. And of course, Vukac still isn't ready yet. So we're going to have to do this without him. And a quick look at the Cape Breton lineup. And yeah, Cape Breton, okay, this is good. They're the host team from the Cube, and they're actually pretty terrible. They're 28 and 36 for the regular season.
Oh, we have hope. Okay, right. So I just had to check. Luca Berzan was one of those guys who got traded in mid-season this year
okay.
from Moose Jaw. So he's still with Moose Jaw in this game.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, that was a trading deadline guy.
Yes.
So not a ton of scoring for Cape Breton. Same kind of thing with the other QMJHL team. About one line of depth and then pretty terrible afterwards. Goaltending is still about even with us, so nobody in this tournament has a big goaltending advantage, but we should be able to win this on the lower line matchups.
We should be able to win it however we want.
Well, it's not like we were dominant this year either. But yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape. Against them, I'm not going to open it up offensively. I will maybe switch the line matchups around after the first period if we're not. And Christensen makes it 1-0 on the first shot of the game for us, so that's not a bad way. But Kalmakov evens it up for them a minute later, so a couple of early goals, and we're back to where we started. We'll see how I was going to say we'll see how we come out of this period, and if it's still about as even as it is now, and we've only got 2 shots on goal. Although we came close there, and Smith makes it 2-1 for Cape Breton. So this is not good. What I'm going to do is switch our line matchups. I'm going to open it up a little bit and switch our line matchups around too. Right now, our first line is matched against their second line. I'm going to try that. Put our Thompson's on the second line. I want them against our third. Yeah, so our first line is going to go on against their third line. We'll try that. See if we can win the matchups a little better this time. We've got a couple of shots early at least. So we're getting a little more offense this period, but nothing to show for it so far. At least this goalie that we're playing against is cold. And he just lets one in as soon as I say that, so 2-2, and I will stay with this, continue playing like we are now because we finally got some offense going.
Excellent.
Even though it's only tied. And Gutenberg makes it 3-2, so now we're up with about a minute left in the second. Took a penalty, and we've got about a minute and a half of that to kill going into the third. But so far so good. They get a couple of chances, but doesn't look like they got anything there. And killed the penalty off. We're getting close, looks like. 19-17 on shots, 13 minutes left in the third. I'd like to... Okay, I'm going to stop it there with about just under 10 minutes left. And go a little more conservative on the tactics. Hopefully we're not shutting that down too early. Took a penalty there, 5 minutes left. And they came close there, but did not get anything. 2 minutes, 1.5. And before they can pull a goalie, we get the fourth goal. That is 4-2 final score. So we are into the playoff round.
Awesome.
And the stream doesn't end halfway through. That's always good. And let's see who the other game was. Moncton, Ottawa took them to overtime. Or actually, no, it was a shootout. So Moncton goes into we're the only team that Moncton managed to beat in regulation time. But they're going into the playoff round in first place. So we will see that in a second here. Bukac is finally ready, it looks like. No, he's still got the Red Cross, so he's probably a day or two away. So maybe if we're really lucky when I advance this to tomorrow, we're going to get him well enough to play. And you can see there's the tournament setup, the playoff round. Moncton finishes in first, so they get the bye to the finals. And we wound up having to go back again against Ottawa and play them in the semifinal. And Kate Breton, not surprisingly, is out. And I'll just go back and take a quick look. Did Ottawa have any injuries? Looks like they've lost one defenseman, but he's not anybody that's that important. And cross your fingers that we get Bukac back for this game, even if he's not completely healthy. And yes, he's got the yellow cross, so he is ready to play in this one. So I'm going to swap him, Zayat, the guy that we had put in for Iorio. I'm going to put Bukac in with him, and if I remember correctly, oh, he was on the second pair. I thought he was in the third one. I don't know if I want to give Bukac that many minutes when he's still slightly hurt. Although he's 3 stars, yeah, he is better than the alternative, even playing hurt. So, okay, we'll go with that.
He'll likely be okay.
Oh, yeah, he might miss the rest of the season if he's something happens to him. Not really a huge consideration at this point.
Exactly. It's not the end of the world.
Okay, so back against Ottawa. And that really tough offense. Maybe play him a little more physical this time, I think. And tactics-wise, I think I'm just going to go with that for the first period. I'm not going to make any big changes. The goalie is still hot, unfortunately, and ours never did warm up.
Of course. Why would he?
And we get a couple of early shots on the power play, but nothing in. 6-0 actually, 5 minutes into the game. So, wow. And Johnny Hooker makes it on the 9th shot of the game. And McCorrister, 2-0, 12-0. We're leading on shots. We're destroying them. What's going on here? Well, they finally get a shot with about 8 minutes left in the period, but we're leading 13-1 on shots. Is the Ottawa logo a puck? Yeah, I think it is. It's a puck with teeth, if that makes sense. And as I look away to do that, we scored again, and they got one, but we end the first period 3-1. So looking good so far, and I won't make any changes. We'll just keep rolling with this because we're doing so well.
Yeah, I prefer to think of the Ottawa 67's logo as, what's a good way to put this? An angry Peter Puck.
I haven't thought of Peter Puck in years. Then 4-1. Ottawa just has no offense at all against us. We're out shooting them 21-7. They just can't get anything going, fortunately. And we get a couple of chances near the end. Nothing yet. Still 4-1 with a couple minutes left in the second. And playing 4-on-3 to start the third, but we are up 4-1 and out shooting them 25-11. I am changing absolutely nothing because this is going really well. Penalties end, no goals, and we're headed for the middle of the period with us still up by 3. And Baron Thompson makes it 4-1 for 5-1 rather.
Excellent. I should point out too, this is kind of one of 2 Ottawa logos.
Oh yeah, they have the traditional one too. That's just like a 67.
Yeah.
You can actually see that on the uniform picture down here. The mod I've got installed. And that is the end of that. 5-1 final score. Surprisingly weak game out of Ottawa. Stelio Matheos, 3 assists, all in the first 3 goals. And a solid game from Miscue in goal. Bad game from Jones playing for Ottawa. But we will take that and we will go on to the Memorial Cup. So we may not only just win a league championship, but also might get a national championship here.
Excellent.
Yeah, it would be really nice. Bukac is still progressing. He's not quite back to 100%, but just about there. And Bukac does get to 100% for the final game.
Fantastic.
Do I move him up to the top pair, though? No, after we played that well in the last game, I'm just going to leave that as it is. And anything change in Moncton's lineup? Doesn't look like it. Try what I did against Cape Breton, and in this game I'm going to switch the matchups around a little bit and try to get that third line against our first one. We'll see how that does in the third, or in the first rather. Trying to get the tactical scores a little more even. So we got a pretty good defensive advantage against them. So let's start this up. I will slow this one down a little bit since it will be our last game of the year. I will leave it the highlights setting on now. And here we go. for the CHL Championship. And naturally their goalie is still hot and ours is still cold, so hopefully that doesn't matter, just like it didn't in the last one. Not much offense at all. Looks like both teams are just kind of trading the puck back and forth mid-ice. Got a chance here. A couple of chances there, and no, we got some good offensive pressure at least. Not getting a lot of shots out of it. The shots either going wide or getting blocked, so it's still only 2-1 shots 6 minutes into the period. Killing a penalty now. And Moncton gets a couple of chances, but can't do anything with them.
Brian Label has shown up in the chat and says, "Go, win it all."
Yeah. We're trying.
We can't win the Stanley Cup unless we can challenge for the Stanley Cup.
And Moncton comes close on a rebound there, and we're killing a penalty again. Need a little more discipline in the final game. Got to generate a little more offense too. We'll look at the ice times after this period and see if that first line, third line matchup is meaning our third line isn't getting out enough. Or our first line, rather. And they're getting more chances than we are, but not doing anything with them yet, fortunately. 4 minutes left in the period, 7-5 on shots for them. But not really a lot of great scoring opportunities either way. Looks like we might have something here. And then they come back up ice after we don't score. And Moncton takes a penalty with 3 minutes left in the first, so let's see if we can get something here. Take the shot, but the goalie got his hand on it.
Yes, we can.
Not getting many chances on the power play here. Yeah, we had one early chance, and then nothing at all happened. A couple of late shots, but none of them a real scoring chance. We got 10 seconds left in the period, and the period will end nothing. So let me take a look at the box score and see what the ice time looks like. We're looking for our first line here. With Theos on it. Yeah, well, no, 8 minutes of ice time there, so they're getting out often enough. I'm okay with that. Nobody having a particularly bad game, just a pretty quiet period overall. I'll show a few more highlights in the second period, so we get a little more play-by-play. And we opened up with a shot from the point, but didn't go in, and again, both teams playing really conservatively, it looks like. I think we've had slightly better chances, but haven't done anything with them yet. We took another penalty there. But Ottawa or Moncton not doing much with it yet. And looks like we'll kill it off. Yeah, killed that off. 5 minutes gone in the second, still a nothing tie. Looks like it may be a close one. And they get a breakaway and puts a shot in off the post, and it is 1-0 Ottawa, or 1-0 Moncton. Why do I keep saying Ottawa?
Of course.
We almost came back and got one. Looks like Ottawa's a penalty right now, so maybe we can get something here. But they're not really letting any shots through. When we do get a shot, it's gone wide. And one timer goes wide there for us. At least still playing pretty well defensively. Just that one goal they've got made it by. And Moncton is pressing now. And Pelletier gets it for Moncton. It is now 2-0, and I've got to start thinking about how we get some more offense. Because we've really gone quiet here. And they seem to be blocking a ton of our shots. Getting close, but we just can't get anything by Granite Power, the goalie.
Yeah, it happens.
Power play here, and still not much going on. Come on, at least get a shot here. There we go. But the goalie's just stopping everything. 19 shots so far, nothing to show for it. Twenty shots, 21. Come on. Come all this way and we get shut down by a hot goalie.
Well, that was right. Very in line with things that happened.
So we are outplaying these guys. And there we go. Rebound on the power play. Makes it 2-1. So finally get one by him. Hopefully that's going to start things. And now Moncton coming back and pressure again. But we're coming back up the ice. Can we get something here? And no, the period ends. We're out shooting them 29-17, but we're losing 2-1. So one period to go. I don't know if I want to change anything here. I'm probably going to leave it as it is till we get, unless we go down by one more, or if we get halfway through the period, I might try to get a little more aggressive offensively. But we pretty much dominated them in the second half of that period. It's just that we're not beating the goalie. I can try one thing here. Let's see what Granite Bowers. See, blocker and glove hand. He's a little better on high shots and low shots, so what I will do is go to the global tactics screen and tell guys to shoot low on him. And that'll hurt our accuracy a little bit, we'll have fewer shots on hitting the net, but maybe we can get one by him that way. That's what all I can think of doing at this point. So here we go into the third. And if we don't have anything, if we haven't tied it up by halfway through the period, or if they get another goal at some point, I'm going to jump up the offensive risk taking, but I'll leave that for right now. Although we're not getting any shots to start the period, that's a little worrying.
Oh, it happens.
And yeah, there we go. Just we had a shot at the net and wound up missing it. Wonder if that's because we were trying to target too low. Okay, we've got another power play. Just missed a shot there from the point. And looks like Moncton kind of dominated the second half of that power play. So we're getting chances, but nothing's going in. 5 minutes gone in the first. Come on, we got to get one here. They're blocking a lot again. .30-18 shots, but we're still down by one. We're getting a lot more offensively than they are at the moment.
Oh, the stream
Hopefully
just kind of... Hold on. Okay.
What happened? Are we okay?
Yeah, it's back on. It just suddenly went black for a second. Not really sure what happened.
I got the frames drop message. Maybe it was just a little glitch. Okay, I stopped the game. Am I okay to restart it?
Yeah, I think you're fine. I got it running on my page.
Okay.
It says 3:30 left, so whatever. That's
Yeah,
behind,
3:00. That's I've stopped at 3:05. Okay, so let's go. 3 minutes remaining. Tied game.
Oh, it did break.
It did. What? Is it gone or is it?
No, it just
okay.
it's. Yeah, we have to get it back, sewn back together.
Yeah. Okay. As long as it's still going.
Yep, keep going.
2.5 minutes left. Still tied. 2 minutes. 90 seconds. 1 minute. Okay, 57 seconds left, so either something dramatic happens here or we're going into overtime. And Moncton has a late chance, but puts it way over the net, and we are going to overtime. Oh, buckle up, here we go. We've got all the momentum, out shooting him badly. We just need to get one by this guy. And this should be regular overtime, no shootouts, so we will play OT until somebody scores.
All right. Which hopefully
we got an early shot couple early chances, but can't even get anything through to the net. Bellamy blocking a couple of shots from Moncton. And we're continuing to press, but nothing so far. 3 minutes gone. Greg, the rookie, had a chance there. Didn't do anything with it, though. 6 minutes gone. Get nervous every time I see that red in the play-by-play.
Yeah.
Moncton missing the net there. Still getting some pressure offensively, though. And we get the puck, fortunately. And headed back up ice, apparently. And another shot, but nothing close to scoring yet. And deflected shot on net, but Granite Power stopping it again for Moncton. Almost halfway through the first overtime period. Oh, and a big pad save there after the deflected shot. And another chance for us on a rebound. Didn't get anything there either, though. Oh, Moncton penalty. So can we get something here? Halfway through, we only had one good chance so far. Loose puck in front of the net. And there we go. We win at Higson on a rebound on the power play, 3-2. So not only WHL champions, and I am absolutely saving that as soon as I get out, but Memorial Cup champions.
Who would have thought it was possible? In
a season that was looking like rebuilding one. Apparently not. I'll take a look at that. I'm just going to, once we get through the save, since I'm not taking any chance of the game crashing now and losing this. But I will check the scoring on that last goal. Oh, it was actually a delay of game penalty. That's why they got a penalty in overtime. I guess the ref didn't have a choice. He probably put it out over the glass. In his own zone, yeah, Higson of all people, not exactly one of our big scorers, but scores off of Bukach's rebound. Did Higson even have a goal this season? Yeah, 2 goals this season and gets his 3rd in the overtime of the final game.
However it works.
So there we go. Brandon, Memorial Cup champions with a record that, were we even 500 this year? Just barely, I think. And there's a good shot to end on. The Wheat Kings are Memorial Cup champions. Have a look at the team. And take a quick look at... I don't have to wait. Yeah, unfortunately, the tournament summary page isn't that great right now. It's easy to, it actually works better if I go back and, or would if you could look at the history. Something we definitely want to work on for next year, but doesn't change the fact that we finally won one. Oh no, we were slightly below 500, 33, 35, and 4.
Yeah.
But doesn't matter now. We're probably the first team to win the Memorial Cup with a losing record. So we are into the off season, probably going to be definitely losing our overage guys. And of course, to Wegleitner and Higson, who had the cup-winning goal. Good way to end his junior career, I guess. And Matheos will probably be gone to the NHL. He's signed to Carolina, and they're probably going to send him to the minors next year. And we're going to have a bunch of turnover from our older players. So I don't know what kind of shape we're going to be in next year, but again, doesn't matter. We won.
Yeah.
So I think that is a good place to wind it up, I'd say.
Yeah, I think so.
And thanks everybody for coming out, and we finally won one.
Yeah, so thank you very much for tuning into another special Franchise Hockey Manager 4 stream. We typically stream every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on TV/OOTP Developments. You can also find our stream archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments as well. You can reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Franchise Hockey Manager. On Twitter, we're at Franchise Hockey, or as well on Twitter, in our profile, you can find a link to our Discord channel. If you want to talk about Franchise Hockey Manager, the new, recently released Out of the Park Baseball 19, our MLB Manager, come on down to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button in the top right-hand corner, which will bring you to our official forums, and you can talk about whatever you'd like.
Yeah, so thanks everybody for coming out. We'll be back next week with the Florida Panthers game, and hopefully we'll have a new update for the game out by then. I think we're probably pretty close to doing it, so there's no problems overnight. Hopefully we'll have something out this week, and it's just nothing. It's not really adding much to the game, just fixing a few lingering problems after the final patch that we put out last month. So again, thanks for coming out, and we will see you next week.